transports must not depart with any clones in them. Stop them from boarding. The clones must not reach the transports.
Acquiring target.
One more time. Alright, I lost it. How's it going, everybody? That was a hella annoying ass intro, but I had to do it. Welcome back. I'm your host, Armando Ortega, and you're watching another episode of the Mind of Mando. How's everybody doing today? I'm doing somewhat alright. Fun fact about that little whistling noise I did that with my hands. You know, just cut my hands together, blew into my thumbs, and out came that whistle. Something about that, actually. My dad, when I was a little kid, you know, before he left that ass, he always did that at random times. Just always did that. And I had, like, how do you say it? No idea how he did it. And, you know, I was like maybe 5 or 6 probably. And I was just like, Dad, how do you do that? He was just like, oh, you just blow. I'm like, what? And he's like, you grab this hand and you grab this hand, do it like this, and you just blow right here, and out comes the whistle and everything. And I'm like, what? And then like, I tried, just could never do it. Now since I was like 5 or 6 years old. Fast forward until I was 25. I'm working at a job down here in San Diego now, and there's this one coworker I was with before. He did it, and I'm like, God damn, that's hella loud. Give me 1 second. Okay, that should be better. Well, anyways, this coworker started doing it, and I'm like, oh yeah. Told him a story about my dad, and then he just really started walking me through how he did it. And he was like, yeah, it's gonna take you a while to practice. And then, you know, I just cupped up my hands, and then I was just like, I can't do it anymore. I lost it, guys. One more time. Yeah, basically that. And I finally got it. And like, as you guys can hear, I haven't mastered it yet. At all. But I can somewhat do it now. After all these years. After like about like 2 decades. 2 decades of wondering how to do that. How my dad did that. I could finally do it. You know, if I was still talking to my dad, I'd be like, hey, yo, check this out. But, you know, it is what it is. But here's the thing about whistles. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Oh yeah. Also, I set up my microphone holder, and I have the pop filter. You know, my last episode I uploaded yesterday. I actually noticed that when I said a word that started with the letter P, it kind of like the mic really picked that up, like it spiked. And I was like, ooh, maybe this is the reason why pop filters exist. But yeah. Well, anyways, what I was saying is, my lady and I, 2-3 weeks ago, we went to this reggae thing fest at in downtown San Diego. It's called Bayfest. We had a wonderful time. One of the stands there, I don't know if I mentioned this last time, that when we were there, one of the booths that were there, because I had a lot of people selling stuff for like insanely high prices. One of the guys I follow on Instagram and everything, he sells like a lot of whistles and clothings and all stuff from pre-Columbian times in Mesoamerica. One of the things he has was a whistle for a Jaguar, and I've been wanting one of these for a long time. We went to talking for a bit, and we hit it off somewhat. and he ended up giving me a real good discounted price, because usually stuff like these goes for a good amount in the US. I know if you cross over the border, go to Mexico, go to Guatemala, anywhere else in Mexico or the rest of Central South America, these whistles go, not so expensive. But here in the States, everybody's like, oh my god, it's so exotic, so ethnic, I really want to check this out and everything. They'll pay up the ass for this stuff. Man, I've seen stuff like these on Etsy go for like $80, over $100. I ain't pay much for this one, Well, anyways, check this out. Here's the thing. It was funny because my lady, I was like, oh, it's a whistle. Here, hold this and I'll pay for it. And I bought myself a nice poncho. My lady goes, it's not a whistle, babe. It's not a whistle. And I'm like, yeah, it is. And she's like, the hole that you blow into, that's what she said, it's not a traditional whistle. It's not going to go or anything like that, It's something, it comes out with a different noise and everything when it chambers through the whistle head, and it comes out from the bottom. And it's not like just blowing it and then letting the noise go like that. There's a certain form you have to do. If you speak any language, me it's Spanish, where you have to roll your R's and everything and everything like that. Like, try and copy like a cat purring. Or if you speak a language where you roll your R's, you can do that naturally, that's how you're supposed to do it. So you go onto the hole on the very top, and what you're supposed to do is in the bottom, there's an exit vent where the noise comes out. You're supposed to cup your hands around that a certain way. It's not enough to blow just directly into it and not do anything. Because if you blow into it without rolling your tongue and not covering the bottom, this is what you'll get. Right? What does that sound like? Yeah, something. Cup your hands and blow into it while rolling in like a slow, like not going like, but going like kind of slower. You'll gauge how you're supposed to, the speed and how you're supposed to cup it. But it's supposed to basically sound like a Jaguar. Well, in a sense. But yeah, give me 1 second. Let me show you guys. Like that. And then when you kind of want to make the Jaguar kind of like roar louder, that's when you start releasing the cupping of the bottom of the whistle. One more time. So yeah, so that's what it is. I'll put a picture up of the whistle and what I'm talking about. But it's a cool little thing. It's a smaller version of the Jaguar whistle versus the bigger ones, of course. But like, that was so dumb how I worded it. There's bigger versions of this Jaguar whistle. And those versions, instead of the, sound coming from the bottom of the whistle, it comes from the mouth of the Jaguar. And those sound a little more true to the Jaguar growls, to the Jaguar roars and everything. But I'm very happy with this. In my, how do you call it? I'll take a picture of it when I'm done with this podcast and I'll upload it up. But on my dresser that I got from OfferUp, it was very cheap, a very good sizable dresser, so I'm happy that I got it. On my dresser, I keep my records, my record player, my speakers, and everything like that. I try and keep that thing organized as best as I can. But I also like decorating it. I have my 1994 Spider-Man cartoon TV show, Venom, on there in full display. He's awesome. It's just crazy. It came out in 94, the year I was born, and now it's just sitting here on my dresser, It's as old as I am. Anyways, next to it, it's a mini Funko Pop of the Mandalorian. He's still in his packaging, but yeah. Then you have my Jaguar whistle right beside it. Just little, like, everything else is gray and black and white and everything like that. This whistle, maybe the side of my speakers, because it's like a lightish wood color. This whistle is the only pop of color this has. But I have a full-size Funko Pop
of Khonshu from Moon Knight and everything. My lady got it. Man, I love her. My lady got it for me. Like pre-ordered this from Hot Topic, but she also got to deal with it. Essentially, I got this for $2. She got it for me for $2 and everything. And yeah, it's there. I love it. I'll try and get the lighting right and everything so you guys can see everything. But yeah, so this little Jaguar whistle. If I know you, I'm sorry. Unless you're my boy. If I know you, well, you know that's what you get for liking Brotherhood. Well, anyways, I'll put this away. Oh yeah, I'll just put it right here. Speaking of Brotherhood, that Forsaken game. I messaged him. I don't think he's read it as of yet, but I messaged him, and you know what I found out? Okay, so look, I play the game for the story, as do a lot of people who play the games and everything like that, because in the end of the day, love it or hate it, whether you have a favorite installment or not, whatever your feelings are, the story can be compelling. The lore at this point that Ubisoft has created for the Assassin's Creed franchise is just so rich and just so much depth to it. You know, it got to the point where it went from single physical representation of, you know, the fruit that Eve ate from the tree that was forbidden for the story in the Bible. And turned it into an actual artifact, explaining that what we know in the Bible so far, what's being told to us, it happened in a sense. You know, Adam and Eve were real in a sense. These gods, these deities that humans from our world, from our time, revere as gods and everything, were actual living beings, but not gods, you know. And it's so crazy, it's so awesome. Well, anyways, the point I'm trying to make with this is this: in the very first installment, you have the Knight Templars. What were the Templars? The Knight Templars were basically the knights who fought in the Holy Wars, trying to reclaim the Holy Land, you know, in the name of Jesus Christ, bearing crosses on their chests, on their shields, all in the name of Jesus the Lord, according to them. So from there, you have the Renaissance era with Ezio and everything, and they established the Pope being a thing, you know, again, for Jesus Christ. And then you keep going forward and forward and forward and everything like that. And you're realizing that almost every single installment, whenever it has anything to do with religion, it has to do with Catholicism, with Christianity, any form of religion that has Jesus as their God. Even the latest one, which is Valhalla, it takes you in the foot of Eivor. Which, stupid enough, they made him canonically a female. Oh my god, don't even get me started on that. Well, anyways, Eivor, you travel from Norway to England. You start your own your own clan there, your own location called Ravensthorpe. You build it up from the ground up, everything like that, yada yada. You build trust and companionships with other factions, with other places that rule, yada yada yada, you know. Anyways, when you do that, you end up meeting a lot of people in England who refer to you as heathens, as pagans, as, you know, all these things. You refer to them as Anglo-Saxons, as Christians and everything, because this game is the game that heavily concentrates on religion and gods. So you have the Norse, who believe in their typical gods, you know, multiple of them rule in Valhalla. Well, in Asgard, correction. Then you have the Christians, the Catholics, who believe in Jesus Christ and everything. And while you have Eivor being like, us Norse do honorable combat, where we fight to the death, but as long as we go out as warriors, we are welcome to the table of Valhalla. Christians are like, our God, like, ask of us that we practice love, compassion, mercy, forgiveness, yada yada. If somebody wrongs us and we go into combat, if they are bested, we show mercy. They can't harm us anymore at that moment. We need to think the way our Lord would think, would want us to choose and everything like that. Well, yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Anyways, tell me why, after especially the latest 3 games, when it shows us that mythical creatures were actually a thing in a sense, and that their gods, the Greek gods, the Egyptian gods, and the Norse gods were actual real beings in a sense also. Well, tell me why it just never ever occurred to me that maybe Jesus Christ was also real, you know? Well, anyways, I just found that out today because I was watching this video just to like really capture up about the different pieces of Eden, which by the way are just so many to count at this point. Remember, it just started off with a single apple and now it has like over 30 pieces. Well, anyways, what I'm trying to get is, I guess this happened in a side mission, totally optional, not needed in order to complete the main story. But what I found out was that Ezio Auditore di Firenze was there, well, not only there, but actually saved Jesus when he was nailed up to the cross in the game. Like, Jesus was there wearing the crown of thorns, and Ezio saved him. And I was like, what? I'd never played to that mission, and I never even knew it existed. I just barely found that out today. And I was like, what? And I was just like, because in my head I was thinking like, hey, I wonder when they're bringing Jesus into this. You know, they showed everybody else, but I guess they already did back in 2008, 2009 or something like that. Or 2010, I forgot. 2010, I think. So yeah. And yeah, that just totally caught me off guard. But I was like, yeah, I guess so. I thought they were going to do something more with him, you know, just something like they did with Odin, they did with, you know, with the Greek gods and everything like that. But apparently not. Apparently it was just saving from the cross. But yeah, so that was my whole thing today. I'm bringing you guys my second episode. No, this is going to be my 31st episode, but the second one I'm making as of this week, because you know how I mentioned to you guys yesterday that I wasn't feeling that great and maybe I was going to call off work. Well, ultimately I did not call off work. I actually got up early. I felt like crap, like complete crap, but I got fixed up, changed, and made my way to work, and I actually got there on time. It was actually pretty good. The problem was that I was not feeling well. I was feeling like crap. It got to the point where even my coworker, the one who said he was listening to Metallica, now it's showing a Megadeth. Yeah, it got to the point where my coworker even noticed that I wasn't feeling good. I was like, dude, I feel like crap. And I was explaining to him when I started feeling like crap and why or how and everything. Thing is, I took an in-house COVID test. Oh no, I said the C word. God damn it. No. It took one of those tests and it came back negative. So I was like, oh, cool. So it's just like probably a cold I was having, but it probably didn't affect me too much. But yeah, I ended up being like, dude, do you mind if I leave early? And he was like, no, you're good, man. You know, thank goodness that we hired a new guy like a few weeks ago, and he's able to come in on mid shifts and everything like that and cover mornings whenever needed, because for a while it was just me and my boss on the weekends, 2 days in a row. But now we have a new guy and we're planning on getting like 2 more. Well, anyways, we ended up finding out that, not finding out. We ended up agreeing, like, yeah, around that time, you can go. I need to ask permission from my boss. I called him. He was already awake, like at 6 something in the morning. And I was like, hey, dude, listen, I came to work and everything like that, but I've been feeling like crap these past 2 days. I talked it over with Alex, and I was just like, when 10 o'clock hits, is it cool if I can just head home? I just really feel like crap. And he was just like, yeah, dude, no worries. See, yeah, that's why I like my boss. He understands and everything like that. But also, I think I mentioned this in one of my previous episodes. It's a give and take situation. It's just like he grants me days to take off, 0 repercussions. It's not affecting me negatively or anything like that. But because I have good reasons. But it's also like a give for me because I'm taking that. But I'm giving the fact that whenever I go to work, I do everything I need to do. Whenever they need help with overtime, I go in there with overtime. Whenever they need someone to cover a shift, I'll go ahead and cover the shift and everything. I'll show that I'm there, I'm reliable and everything. So if something's going on in my personal life, just throw me a bone here and there. But yeah, so I ended up getting off at, oh snap, my records. Hold on, let me turn off my record. I'll just restart this side. I like this side a lot. I'd be hearing the same song twice, but I don't care. Let me grab water. Boy, if you're at home, go ahead and crack a cold one with me, boy. You already know liquid that. Hold on. There we go. That beautiful sound. But how do you say it? What was I saying? Oh yeah, and if you're at work, that sucks, huh? Well, yeah. So my boss ended up getting there like 9:30. He hit me up. He said, "Hey, bro, go home. You're good." Nah, for sure. So I got my stuff, left. I let my lady know. I forgot. She originally was talking about taking today off from work in order to do more moving. But I forgot that she decided to go to work. That was on me. Because I ended up telling her, like, yeah, I'm working half day today, yada yada. And I told her the time. She's like, I'm at work. I'm like, oh, what? I forgot. I thought you were going to take it off. Well, anyways, I ended up going, getting a nice croissant, getting a hot cup of coffee, just enjoying my morning somewhat. It's a weird weather today. It's like cloudy, but it's like super hot and sunshiny at the same time. I don't like it. Either be cold and cloudy or be hot and sunny. Not both. I hate that. Well, anyways, I ended up enjoying that. Got myself a lift. Went up to her job, picked up our house keys, and started skating home. It was a pretty scary skate home because it's not just the super, like, look, I bombed hills growing up and everything. I'm from the Bay, from SF, the city of hills. It was the fact that, one, I was wearing my work clothes still. So if I fell and I just ate it, it was very likely that not only would I be beat up and bloody, but also the fact that my clothes could be ripped. Why did you just change? Cause no, I don't change. What? I live like literally a 2 to 3 minute skate from a job. Why would I need to just change? Go to work in my uniform, and it's not even that crazy, the commute to my job and back. It's like I have no reason to be scared to like fall. Well, anyways, she lives up a hill. I mean, she works up multiple hills, so I have to skate all the way down these steep hills. But also is the fact that those roads are crap. Like, they have potholes, they have cracks, they have just these terrible ditches. So it's just like at any point, if I'm not careful, I'm just gonna bail hardcore. Well, anyways, I ended up coming home safe and sound and just relaxing. And right now I'm just gonna be drinking my liquid death. Hold on. Oh man. But yeah. But yeah, so I just decided to, like, after fixing up the sofa,
somewhat fixing up the bed. My lady has a lot of stuff on her side, like a lot, so it's actually really preventing me from fixing up the bed. So I just fixed up my side as best as I could. Dishes are basically done. I decided to be like, you know what, another episode, why not? I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna upload it. It's gonna be done and edited and uploaded before I even go to Muay Thai, you know. But yeah, other than that, it's been a pretty solid day. If I do say so myself, there wasn't anything too serious that was happening at all. And yeah. Anyways, yesterday when I opened up my episode, I talked about the whole thing about, you know, the pink sauce. You guys, quick recap. A girl on TikTok basically uploaded a video of herself putting pink sauce over a piece of chicken and eating it, and stating that it was something of her own creation and everything like that. People were intrigued, rightfully so, because, you know, you don't see, how do you call it, something of that color on anything that you would eat for like dinner or anything like that. It looks like Pepto-Bismol. So how do you call it, she was gaining hype because of that, because of her creation. And of course, when you gain hype for something that you create on social media and people are like, oh my god, what is that, what is that, you capitalize on it. That's just the American way, you know. So she capitalized on it, started making shows, started make shirts, started making campaigning, started making more videos, going out there and having other people try it and everything, review it and stuff. And something that I mentioned yesterday also was the fact that a lot of the reviews, they were like, oh wow, it's this and it's that, but what they all failed to do was actually describe what it tastes like. You know, it's like they just told you basic stuff like it's flavorful, it's savory, it's seasonal, and it's just like, but what does it taste like, you know? Well, anyways, the whole thing was people were like giving her backlash because, one, she mailed it out in paper envelopes basically, and I said some people were reporting that they got theirs smashed and everything. Well, now I saw how some of those people received their packages, their pink sauce. I also stated that how do you call it, it's probably scary when it comes down to food products, because if that gets anybody sick and it results in them being ill or maybe going to the hospital and or maybe becoming deceased, huge lawsuits can be brought to her and everything. And I also informed that she also stated, she also brought up an apology video about everything, and she was just like, you know, this and that, I hear y'all, this and that. And then she goes on to say, we're still testing this in the lab, and once it's deemed good to go, we'll start selling it in stores. And it's like, what? You already sold this to who knows how many people. I mean, people have received it. There's videos now up on YouTube about it. And it's just, or TikTok better said. People opening up their packages and they're seeing it and everything. There was just a whole lot wrong with it. Well, anyways, today I went, how do you call it? I went and decided to try and look up some stuff. There was not too much, but there was some stuff about it, and they all said the same exact thing I was saying yesterday. People were receiving their stuff broken, but this time they actually showed photos of people packages broken. They also showed that some of the ingredients were misspelled, like the vinegar is spelled vinger, 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 and it's just like, what? You know, something that also, and here's the thing that kind of got to me, something that also is in the ingredients is, get this, it's milk. Milk is in the ingredient list. What do you think happens to milk if you leave it unrefrigerated, just sitting there, not refrigerated? Yeah, no, yeah, you guys know exactly what happens to milk and everything like that. It expires. It becomes rotten, sour, clumpy, everything. It's disgusting. Why would you ever have that? So you would think that if ever you use milk in something, for example, ice cream. Ice cream uses milk. Well, certain ice creams, they use cream. But still, it applies to cream at the same time also. What happens if you just leave that out in room temperature? Yeah, it becomes melty and everything. Yeah, some people still eat it, but it's very likely that it will make you sick. It'll give you the runs and everything if you eat it that way. It's just not good, you know? You wouldn't leave milk out in the counter with never putting it in a refrigerator and then serve yourself a bowl of cereal and then just eat it with that clumpy milk. You wouldn't. It would make you sick, guaranteed. So why wouldn't you think it's a good idea to probably take your product that contains milk, something that can expire and poison people, give them food poisoning, and keep it refrigerated to try and make it last, you know? Well, anyways, that's one of the ingredients, and that's a whole reason. I'll try and put on screenshots of everything that I found. It's one of the reasons why people who have opened up their packages because their packages were busted, it looks like their stuff inside their pink sauce is clumpy, is lumpy, it's gross, you know? And then some people would even describe it as rotten. It smells rotten. And it's just like, well, no duh, you know? Well, anyways, there's a picture up describing exactly what it has, you know? The main things that this picture describes is 3 things. 1, dragon fruit, which I assume is where they get their pink color from. 2, sunflower seed oil. 3, chili. 4, garlic. And 5, honey. So here's the thing. I don't know about you guys, but yeah, I've had dragon fruit before. It's a hit or miss, you know, if you guys like that type of stuff. But it's definitely an exotic fruit and everything. It looks exotic too. Sunflower seed oil, I never had it, but I'm assuming that's just, you know, to consistency more than flavor. Then you have chili, garlic, and honey. Chili, garlic, and honey can all go into barbecue sauces, you know, to give it that tangy, you know, maybe if you lean more into the chili side, more spicy, or honey, you know, more sweet and spicy and everything like that, or garlicky, whatever. But that's what I would assume it tastes like. But then again, you add the dragon fruit. The dragon fruit isn't just for the color. The dragon fruit also contains its own flavor, you know? And it's just like, I'm sure that'll impact it somehow. And everything in this ingredient list, like, will contribute to the consistency of the product. Well, anyways, when I was watching the reviews and everything like that, people were mentioning that when they tasted it, those that weren't, you know, busted up or anything like that, it tasted like ranch, but not ranch, but kind of like ranch. Everything. It's just like, what is this, you know? The creator herself does not describe the flavor. Always says the generic, it tastes good. Wow, it's nice. I like the seasoning, yada yada. It's like, okay, but what is it? You know, how does it take like, what's the equivalent? If I were to try and replicate this, what would I go and make or grab from the store to be like, yeah, this generally how it is, you know? So I thought it was barbecue sauce because of the chili, garlics, and honey, but I guess it's something else at this point because some people were saying it's like ranch, but not ranch. Well, here's the thing. I'm pretty sure what I was saying was probably going to be a result of this negligence is going to most likely happen, which is lawsuits. This is the United States. People can sue for anything. I'm pretty sure the Guinness Book of World Records gave this one guy the record for the most lawsuits ever filed by one person, and then that guy proceeded to sue the Guinness Book of World Records. You know how dumb it is to have the ability to just sue anyone and anything just because, whether you have like a foot to stand on or not.
It's ridiculous. It's terrible. It's just a waste of time. It's a waste of money. And it's just like, why are you going to scare people like that for no reason, you know? But then again, it's just like, there's some things that are very, very, very understandable to get sued over. Even if you meant zero harm to anybody, you know? And unfortunately, one of those things is food for human consumption. You make food for people to eat, and you make it look appetizing and or unique. How do you say it? People are gonna buy it, but if it makes them sick and actually results in them either being hospitalized and or die, it's kind of like, why did that happen to them? What's in here? Okay, all these ingredients. How are you storing these? What's your work environment like? Is everything sanitary, sterilized, yada yada? Is there dedicated storage spaces for these things with the adequate temperatures? What are you doing to make sure that this stays in the prime state of its usage for human consumption? Oh wait, you don't have anything? You're just doing it in the kitchen of your house? You don't have enough room for in the fridge, so you just don't refrigerate it whatsoever? Yeah, no, that's no. And then yeah, people are just gonna sue. These are basically for negligence. You're doing all this stuff knowing that you need to have special things in place, special equipments and stuff like that, special storage areas, and you're just not doing it because you don't have the means to do it. And if he did, you're just probably just choosing not to do it. And people will sue. And someone called her a Wish.com version of Cardi B. But how do you call it? I can kind of see it. But it's like, that's part of the reason as to why I was scared of trying to start out making breakfast sandwiches and everything for people to order online. And then, you know, they come pick it up and I go ahead and bring it to them and everything. Because even though I make great breakfast sandwiches and a nice cup of coffee, it'll just take that one person who just will have a bad day and just absolutely blame it on me. And then that's a lawsuit I possibly will not need. So yeah. Unfortunately, it looks like that is the route that's going to be going to in the very near future. And honestly, I could also say, come on, guys. You saw something different on TikTok, nonetheless, and just immediately jumped on the hype that as soon as it was announced that you can make pre-orders of the product, you willingly spent $20 to hold your place in order to buy it and then eat it. It's like, no. Like, I see a lot of cool things online and everything, mainly Etsy, but when it comes down to food, if that person does not have a good reputation or anything like that, I don't want it. I just seriously don't. You know, if you're gonna sell me perishables online that's very delicate, that needs to be stored in a very specific place or temperature or whatever, I'm not gonna buy it. I'm gonna go to the store, and if I just can't get it at the store, then oh well, I guess I'm not getting it. Because it's just like, it's food. Come on, guys, use your common sense. You have this random person on TikTok selling this pink sauce that won't even disclose how it tastes and everything. And then they're like, hey, you guys want some? I'll sell it to you guys. And then you guys just jump on it. And then you're surprised? You're surprised that the packaging sucked? You're surprised that it smelled rotten? That it was exploded and everything? It's just, I hope those people got their money back. I truly, truly hope those people got their money back, because it was just like, and another thing, the color. Yeah, the color was inconsistent, and it was right. There's more photos of the colors. It was like this very faded pink at one point. Then there was this really neutral pink, and then there was this hot pink, and it got to the point where it even looked more purple than pink at some point. So it's just like, why would you order that? Really? Like, look, I'm not saying don't order it. I'm just saying be smart. You know, if I saw something like that, like, oh man, it's pretty cool and everything, I wouldn't just immediately jump on it. I'd be like, yo, so let me just wait for some reviews
or let me just wait at least till this person tells me what the hell this is. Pink sauce, that's just the color, well, anyways, like for example, the Xbox or the new consoles, new gen consoles. When the Xbox One came out back in like 2013, I didn't even get one until 2014, like a year later and everything, when they like kind of sold all the early modes and all the reviews came in and how it performed, yada yada, and then the newer ones started coming out. That's when I got mine, a year later. Same thing with the new Xbox and PS5s and everything. It's just like, one, it's a shortage because a lot of people, I'm pretty sure the shortage has to do with people like trying to crypto mine and everything like that. This crypto stuff is so annoying. But what do you call it? It's also for the fact that you got to read the reviews. You got to wait till people be like, oh, it started overheating. This is a common problem, yada yada. It's just like, yeah, no, maybe just hold off for a bit, And I mean, like right now my Xbox working fine, so why? So that's what I just strongly recommend for everybody to do. Just wait. That's all. Just all you can do is just wait till stuff comes out, it's verified, reviews come in, see where it goes for the first year sounds like a long time, but a lot of stuff can happen in a year. Just wait for a year. If that product is still on the shelves, if there was no controversies, no cases of people getting sick and or becoming deceased or anything like that, then venture out, then try and do it. That's how and everything. Yeah, some people have to take that brave step to review it themselves, but it's just like, is it worth it? Is your health and possible hospital bills worth it? I wouldn't say so. Well, that's just me. But yeah, other than that, I don't really have anything else to say for the time being. Oh yeah, Eivor. Last thing. I'm hella mad that Ubisoft made Eivor canonically female. It's not me coming out as sexist. I forgot if I already talked about this or anything. If I did, just skip. Because after this, I'm probably going to wrap this episode up. It made sense with Cassandra. What kind of confused me was the fact that they use for Odyssey, they use Alexios as the main guy in the cover and everything. But when you boot up the game, it gives you to play Alexios or Cassandra. The canon gameplay is Cassandra, and Alexios was supposed to be Deimos, and Alexios was supposed to, the whole family was supposed to actually die. There's multiple endings to the game, and every family member that you face throughout the game, if you let them all live, the table will be filled with all of them. If only some of them died or got killed or you killed them, then those who survived will be at the table. The canon ending means everybody is dead. And Cassandra was supposed to be the only one. How sad is that? Well, anyways, Cassandra's the canon playthrough. I get it. Eivor, it's not even like, brother, sister, yada yada. It's just Eivor was used for the promotions. Eivor looks cooler. Eivor sounds cooler. Eivor just has that thing about him. The male one just has that thing about him that it's just like, man, this dude is making the game. It's making the game interesting just by hearing him speak and how he carries himself and everything. But then they're all like, this book that's also canon calls the character Eivor fucking, what's his dad's name? Something Dolce and everything, which is fucking, can't with this word, which is their stuff, their way of saying daughter, meaning that Eivor is canonically a female, and that sucks and everything. Why? Because Eivor was far more fit to be a man. With the voice acting, with the line deliveries, with the charisma, with the way the game just flows. If you let the Animus pick and everything like that, because you have three choices: either play as male Eivor, female Eivor, or the third one, which is letting the Animus pick and everything like that, which missions, which Eivor you play as. Throughout the entire game, you play as female Eivor throughout the entire game until you go to Valhalla and take the how do you call it? What is it? Take the reins. Become Odin and everything. That's when you play male Eivor and all that stuff. That's when Eivor is a man. But only then. That's it. You got to go to Asgard and Jotunheim. That's the only time you play as a male Eivor. And then that secret final cutscene and everything. It's the only time you're male Eivor. Everybody else, you know that secret cutscene. Everybody else gets basically reincarnated as a younger version of themselves as the same gender, as the same sex. Except Eivor somehow gets transformed into a female. It makes no sense. It's just, it ruins it. It ruins the flow of the game. It ruins like the hey, look, this makes sense and everything like that. It's just, you think Odin was just like, you know what, I just want to be a girl. You know? The transgender gods. But yeah, no, it's just like, here's the thing. Odyssey worked great because Cassandra just perfectly fit the role of the Eagle Bearer. Just incredibly in Odyssey. I played it through as Alexios, but Cassandra's fitting that role great. Male Eivor is perfect for Valhalla. But because of affirmative actions, it's because it's progressive, they shoehorned that game to be canonically female Eivor, and it's like, why? This would have been a perfectly great game with male Eivor as canon, but it's like, no, it's just female Eivor. But why? What sense does that make? Doesn't. Yeah, no, you're right. It doesn't make any sense. It's just affirmative action, whatever. Like Origins, you have two main characters. Even though you only play it as Bayek, you have Aya, you know, his former wife and everything. She was in a good chunk of the game. She played a good role of the game, but you played as Bayek. Yet people still remember Aya. And then you have Assassin's Creed Syndicate, where you play as both the Fry twins, brother and sister, Jacob and Evie Fry and everything. And they're both significant. And guess what? That entire game is canon. It's just like they can do it. They've done it in the past, but now it's just more about we got to send a message that we're up to at the times, rather than like, hey, maybe we should make a story that makes sense. But yeah, those are my 2 cents on this. It's annoying. It's really annoying. Oh man, I just worked myself up. It's hot. You know, I wish I could have the fan on when I'm doing these episodes, but it adds too much noise, so I don't. Well, anyways, guys, that is that's about it. That's all I gotta say right now. I'm just gonna go ahead and edit this video, and then rest up for a bit, and then just go to Muay Thai, get some workout in, and come home. I gotta order more tea. My Raven Clan tea is actually running out, so I gotta order more. Make some more tea. Just chill out, and hopefully I feel better, and then enough to go to work tomorrow. But all right, thank you guys for just sitting there listening to me babble for 50 minutes or maybe 50 plus minutes. I have been your host. What am I saying? Excuse me. I have been your host, Armando Ortega. And thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Mind of Mando. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. See ya.